The goal of this video is to tell you more about footrests, what type you should choose, when you should use them, how you should use them, etc. Basically, a footrest is just something that replaces the floor. So the best footrest has the same property as the floor. It's big, flat and horizontal. So you see, the footrest that I have made is a simple wooden plank with kitchen door handles at the back there so that it's higher. Yeah, it's 4 or 5 centimeters high. So now, when do I use a footrest? Well, I use a footrest when the floor is not available, i.e. when the chair is too high. When is the chair too high? Well, either because it's a high chair that cannot be lowered enough, or because I'm short, which is the same, or because I had to raise the chair due to the desk height. Yeah? So in this case, I will put the footrest in such a way that I come back to this ideal sitting posture in which my hip is comfortable and my heels are supported. For more on this, you check the video which is at the end of this one, where I give you the details of how to sit well. Okay? So the footrest, hence, has to be right under the heels, under the knees, sorry, and therefore also under the heels. There you see the first problem with footrests is they will often interfere with the caster of the chair, yeah, and that will be disturbing. That's why many people tend to have the footrest in front of them. The problem when you have the footrest in front of you is that the more your legs are forward, the more you'll tend to slouch. Okay? This is exactly why I'm not a big fan of the footrest that you can tilt, because the tilt is meant indeed to put them forward, but the more forward you put them, the more you take the risk of slouching. Now, therefore, you have to bear in mind that I use a footrest only when I have no other choice. If I can bring the table down, if I can bring the chair down, this is a much better solution because it's much easier to sit back in the chair when my feet are on the ground than when my feet are in the footrest. When I'm on the footrest, it's always going to happen like this. First, I'm going to sit, and then I'm going to adjust myself and sit back. If you have 2 steps, you increase the chance that people don't do it. So you really don't use the footrest if you can avoid to use the footrest. Now, this footrest is just here for me, Olivier. Yeah? Hence, it can have a fixed height because I was using it when my desk was at 74 centimeters in height, whereas I want 70. You may need an adjustable footrest if you buy it for several people. But the idea is the same. The idea is you try to buy a footrest which is big, flat and horizontal. Here is a model which is really quite good in the sense that it is adjustable, it is flat and horizontal, it's ugly, but it does the job perfectly well and it's good value for money. You have some other models like this one which are also good, but which are say, adjustable in an easier fashion, which are more elegant and therefore more expensive. Last point on the footrest, make sure that the surface is not bubbly, because when the surface is bubbly, no problems if you have, say, flat shoes like most men have, but if you have shoes with high heels, your heels will always be sliding left and right on the bubbles and you'll find it uncomfortable. So to summarize, I use a footrest only when I have no choice. The footrest should be right under my knees and right under my heels. It should be big, flat and horizontal, and I'm trying to not have it too far forward, otherwise the risk is that I slouch.